It's okay, we can say it out loud. Netflix's The Sandman is an unfaithful adaptation, and that's perfectly fine. Furthermore, Sins of Our Mother just dropped, and we want to tell you what you should know before you dig in. New names have been added to Irish Wish, starring Lindsay Lohan, and then, well, you better stick around to find out what more we've got in store for you. Let's get to it. First up, Netflix's The Sandman is an unfaithful adaptation, and that's perfectly fine. As much as Netflix's The Sandman has been lauded for its utter accuracy, this isn't the entire truth. In reality, lots of changes were made to The Sandman. Based on the comics that were created by Neil Gaiman, one of the driving creative forces behind the adaptation of his own work, there are things that simply cannot be translated directly from the page to the screen, no matter how badly the fans who were there in 1989 want it. For example, one of the best episodes of the new series is 24/7, in which the story is set in a diner. This ensemble is coincidentally also from the very first issue of the comics, and was told in inspired efficiency, using single panels to depict events of specific hours. Though visually on paper it worked wonders, it simply wouldn't work on screen, and so they didn't try. Instead, they had to break it down to the core of it, and threw everything else away. And with just the raw heart of the story left, even the most veteran fan of the original comics can't help but sit back in awe at how amazingly the adaptation has been done. Back in the day, Gaiman had the desire to make sure he created a comic that women would enjoy just as much as men, which was unheard of in those days, when comics were reserved for know-it-all superfans. The show is simply continuing that trend, and with a flair maybe only Gaiman can get away with. Following, Sins of Our Mother just dropped on Netflix. Here's what you need to know. Netflix has been on a roll when it comes to true crime documentaries, shedding light on some of the more disturbing cases in human memory, and this new documentary is sure to keep the streak up. The newly dropped Sins of Our Mother shows the true story of Lori Vallow, once a devoted member of the Church of Latter-day Saints and mother of three, who lost her way in an obsession with conspiracy theories and doomsday ideologies. But on top of that, the documentary further explores the disappearance and later tragic murder of two of her children, Tylee Ryan, who was 16 years old, and J.J. Vallow, who was 7 years old. Their bodies were found in June of 2020 at the home of Chad Daybell in Idaho. Sins of Our Mother is only 3 episodes, the first 2 lasting 50 minutes, and the last one comes in at only 39 minutes, but none of them should be watched with children. The show handles a lot of strong language and mature themes, including several murders, among which are the murders of the 2 young children. A big chunk of the documentary is told through detailed interviews with Colby Ryan, the only surviving child of Lori Vallow. He provides fascinating stories about his 2 deceased siblings, as he lays out the shift in his mother's behavior and ideologies. Will you be watching Sins of Our Mother? And now, Irish Wish starring Lindsay Lohan adds more names to the cast. Things are getting exciting for the upcoming movie starring Lindsay Lohan, Irish Wish. A lot of new names have been added, including Elizabeth Tan, Jane Seymour, and Aisha Curry, all of whom will be joining Lindsay Lohan on her Irish adventure. Irish Wish follows the story of Maddie, who should try and extinguish her feelings for the love of her life because he happens to be marrying her best friend. But Maddie ends up wishing for true love, and when she wakes up, she finds she's stuck in the body of the bride-to-be, which sounds like she got what she wanted. But did she? Maddie soon realizes that she may have been wrong about the of my life part, after all. Even though brand new names have been added to the call list, it's unclear as of yet who will be portraying who in the upcoming movie. Lohan recently picked up her acting career again, after taking a few big steps back when Lindsay shot to fame in 2010's The Parent Trap. Falling for Christmas will be Lohan's first real acting role in years, which is set to debut on Netflix around the holidays. Both Irish Wish and Falling for Christmas will be directed by Janine Damian from a script by Kirsten Hansen. Are you happy Lindsay Lohan is back in action? Next up, The Curse of Bridge Hollow sure looks spoopy in the first new trailer. We'll tell you all we know so far about A Time Called You, and Squid Game creator responds to concerns about the reality show. Want to know more? Well, let's get going. First up, The Curse of Bridge Hollow sure looks spoopy in the first new trailer. The co-mastermind behind the scary movie franchise, Marlon Wayans, is coming back to horror comedy, but this time around it will be more of a spoopy fest, making it a lot more family-friendly for the season. The new Netflix original, The Curse of Bridge Hollow, is set to star the scary movie fan favorite, and up to co-star, we have Priya Ferguson, a fan favorite of Stranger Things. In spite of Wayans being in more of a dad mode this time around, we can assure you that the trailer promises us exactly what we would expect from Wayans: animatic chaos and some blood-gurgling screams as the perfect cherry on top. The Curse of Bridge Hollow follows the story of a family that moves from the luxuries of Brooklyn to the small and rather creepy yet quaint town of Bridge Hollow. Bridge Hollow has a local legend which adults don't really believe in, but as it turns out, Stingy Jack is quite capable of doing what the stories say he can. The Curse of Bridge Hollow sees Halloween decorations come to life, whether the adults want to believe it or not. In a way, having the decorations come to life as opposed to having real monsters come to life makes it a little more scary, but we can't wait for this one to drop in October. Is The Curse of Bridge Hollow on your to-watch list? Next, A Time Called You, a Netflix original K-drama. what we know so far. It's going to be a beautiful year, 2023, for all the K-drama fans out there. There's a whole string of new K-dramas in the works, and one of those projects is A Time Called You, the Korean adaptation of Someday or One Day, which is a Taiwanese drama. A Time Called You tells the story of Han Jun-hee, whose boyfriend, Ko Yeon-jun, died over a year ago, but she hasn't been able to move on yet. Then, someday she finds herself traveling back in time, somehow all the way back to 1998. There she realizes she is now a high school student named Kwon Min-ju, as whom she meets Nam Si-hyun, and she can't believe how much he resembles her dead boyfriend, Ko Yeon-jun. The drama will be directed by Kim Kin-won, who you may recognize for directing My Country the New Age, or Just Between Lovers. Another name and face you may recognize is Jeon Yo-bin, who has been chosen to portray Han Jun-hee. The actress has become increasingly more present on the platform, and currently has 4 titles on Netflix that have her name attached to it, including Night in Paradise and the series Be Melodramatic. She will once again be the lead for A Time Called You, which is scheduled to be released somewhere in 2023, and will have 12 episodes. And lastly, Squid Game creator responds to concerns about real-life Squid Game. The second the news broke that Netflix had greenlit an actual reality series based on the murderous competition in Squid Game, which pointedly makes fun of such shows in the most authentic way we've seen in a long while, fans didn't waste a moment to point out the irony. Now, creator Hwang Dong-hyuk is urging fans not to take things all too seriously. Hwang made his point about the sequel during the Emmys, where Squid Game pretty much blew everyone else out of the water, and then some. Not only did they make history, they got away with a good amount of the awards as well. Hwang has won the award for Best Directing for a Drama Series for the pilot episode Red Light, Green Light. In total, Squid Game was nominated for 16 Emmys and walked away with 6 of them. That included an award for Lee Hong-jia, who became the first ever Asian actor ever to win Best Actor in a drama. But regardless, maybe it's best to listen to the wise words of Hwang. I feel like when you take things too seriously, that's really not the best way to go for the entertainment industry. It doesn't really set a great precedent. And that's it for now. What are your true feelings about the Sandman? Let us know in the comments what you think, and thanks for watching.